of us just completely go, ugh, I don't want to do that. Well, what it is regrouting ceramic tile. Not a nice job, not necessarily an easy job, but one that you spend a fair amount of time on your hands and knees, especially if you're doing shower bases and low areas on the wall of a shower. But one of the things that you gotta be very respected of, and that is make sure that there's no water back in behind, meaning that water has gone back in behind through the grout, behind the tile, the backing board, like your drywall, has become soft, and that has allowed the residual from the ingredients used in drywall, the gypsum products, to come out through the grout. The grout gets soft, and away it goes, and you've got a real nasty appearance on your hands. Folks, the only way to regrout, first of all, is to make sure it's dry. Okay, so you got to plan on leaving the shower unattended for at least a week. And I suggest what you do is take a fan, just a regular table fan. Sometimes I'll ask people if they don't have a fan, do you have a little table lamp with a shade on it? That way you can set it in on the floor of the shower, turn the light on, and the convection currents that the bulb causes within the lampshade takes that moisture, takes it up, and leave your bathroom exhaust fan on or a window open. You got to get it dry. Or if you have a fan, to set the fan in there and let it do both jobs. Let it dry and let it get the air moving so you can exhaust it. But once you've got it to the point that it's dry, you can always tell when it's dry because you're going to use a grout saw. So go to your local building supply or box store and ask for a grout saw. And the grout saw is for removing old grout. And don't try to do it with a Dremel tool. If you want to damage your tile, that's a good way to go about it. And you got to wear safety gear on your eyes, your hands, all these things. You got to make sure you do it. A grout saw is a pretty safe tool to use, and it is hand-driven, like That's sweat equity, we call it. So you remove it all. You got a vacuum there as you're removing it because it does come out in a dry dust. That way you know it's dry. And then from that point, you buy the grout color that you want. You mix it up. Make sure it is the grout color you want. You don't use silicone. You don't use acrylics. You don't use anything to do with caulkings. Caulkings are out. Grout is in. You can either use cementitious, which is a sand and powder grout that you mix up with water, or you can buy now epoxy grout. And epoxy grout, a lot of people say for professionals only, but I can tell you right now, if you can get someone to teach you the use of epoxy grout and the simplicity of installing and applying epoxy grout and the cleanup after using epoxy grout, then you got a world ahead of you that's going to be a great serviceable grout line that you may never ever have to do again. So those are areas that you want to keep in mind, and certainly keeping that sort of quality in mind, the job is going to be done right. So I always say, good, better, best. Why worry about the rest? When the good is better, the better is best. Use it, but find out first of all how to use it, not just reading instructions or the ways and means that someone possibly is trying to explain to you at a building supply store. Make sure that they are qualified and they have used it and they are selling you on the features of the product. It's just that easy, folks.